We did a demand event in class. I did a variable cost event in an earlier screencast, and now let's think about what a fixed cost increase would look like. I did a variable cost increase, so let's have that side by side to compare. As always, we start our analysis of a competitive market and a competitive firm in side-by-side frameworks. This is going to be the corn market, corn farm, a single representative farm. Prices are in dollars per bushel for both the market and the firm. And quantity for the market is in millions of bushels per year, but for the firm, it's just bushels per year. All right, and that initial equilibrium happens where supply and demand intersect. And that feeds into a perfectly elastic demand curve for the firm. There are price takers at P naught. And we start at an initial equilibrium. Nothing wants to change until just the event that we're studying. And output is at Q naught, small q naught. All right, so that's our initial equilibrium. Now, the short run event is going to be a fixed cost increase. So the easiest thing in farming, land costs rise. Maybe the expansion of urban areas is putting pressure on farmland and driving up prices, whatever. All right, so what's that going to look like? Well, fixed costs are part of average costs, but they're not part of marginal costs. So marginal costs are going to stay the same, but average costs are going to rise. So AC prime. And that means this original average cost curve is going to become an isoprofit line where profits are less than zero. Firms are losing money now. In the short run, there's going to be no market event because firm marginal costs don't change, and the market supply is just an aggregation of individual firm marginal costs. So in the short run, nothing changes. Firm output doesn't change. The market price, firm demand doesn't change. The only thing that changes is firms that were used to be breaking even now are losing money. So this is actually the end of the short run case, believe it or not. What's going to happen in the long run? Well, firms are losing money. In the long run, some of those firms are going to leave the market. Maybe they go become accountants. That's actually a big thing. People that used to make their living on farms now do other things. Maybe there's some higher profit crop that, maybe with all the urban residents newly nearby, they can make money making broccoli to sell at farmers markets to the new urban residents. Whatever. Some people are going to go do something else because they'd be losing money in an economic sense, meaning that they could do better elsewhere. All right, well, so as exit happens, the market supply curve shifts to the left. I want to do my long run in red. How much exit is going to happen to restore this market to a long run equilibrium? Well, enough that the surviving corn farmers are breaking even. So we know that supply curve shifts to the left until the new equilibrium price is at a level that enables survivors in the industry to break even. Now, maybe there's no such level. We could imagine that there'd be an event where costs rose to the point where this is not a viable sector anymore, and that there be no demand at a price high enough to allow farmers to exist, farmers growing corn to exist. And we see this in the economy. There used to be tons of blacksmiths, now hardly any. So it is a sign of a healthy economy that sectors that used to be real important disappear, and sectors that we could have never imagined come into being. So this process of exit and from one sector and entry into a more promising sector is part and parcel of a healthy economy.